Welcome back to Let's Play Days Before Christmas. Last time around we defeated a giant clock, and today we tackle perhaps the most annoying run of levels in the entire game. And I'm saying annoying and not hardest for a reason. Well, this isn't a very hard game to begin with, but for one way or another, these levels that are coming up are kind of annoying. Wow, I actually hit that guy. I always have problems with those ice cubes. Anyway, story time. So as you can probably tell from the sound of my voice, I've not been very well recently. In fact, I have a bit of a cold. I still have a bit of a cold. I picked it up last weekend, and for one reason or another, probably the time of the year, it hasn't gone away anytime soon. And that was really close. I thought I was about to die there. The water is insta-kill. It's basically a pit. But the reason why that's unfortunate, this LP, I'll level with you, was actually meant to be finished a while ago. And obviously, I can't let's play the Days... Goddamn ice cubes! Seriously, stop it! Pack it in! I can't really LP a game called The Days Before Christmas after Christmas. I really like those blind jumps, don't I? You think I would have learned my lesson the first time. So now, unfortunately, I'm facing a race against time because Christmas is only 2 days away at the time of recording this. So I'm going to have to do one episode now and one episode on Christmas Eve, which I didn't really want to have to do. But hey, that's the life of the LPer, I guess. Now, you might have seen in the picture at the start of this level, there was a polar bear present. And you might think he's sleeping in that cave, and as far as I can tell, he is sleeping in that cave. You might think, oh, he's the hazard of this level. He comes out and chases Santa. Well, no, sorry, that's false advertising. Because, you know, that would be cool and all. And we can't have cool in a game about Christmas. You know, we can't have a polar bear trying to maul you and murder you and tear you limb from limb. So instead, you're stuck with cloud jumping. The first time I played this game, I fully expected the polar bear to come up from behind me and try and kill me. No, doesn't happen. I've since experimented by fast forwarding. You can wait there for 10 minutes and the polar bear doesn't arrive. So what was the point of putting him in the picture at the start? I suppose just because he looked cool. And I swear that wasn't an intentional pun, but I suppose it kind of was. That's a penguin, isn't it? That's a bomb. They go back to putting the bombs in the presents again. Oh, I expected the penguin there as well. That didn't go too badly. Anyway, the upshot of it is, because I'm not feeling 100% still, but I kind of have to do this because I need to get this done before Christmas. My commentary might not be up to the level it was before, as if it was already up to a level. Ha! And I might not be playing the greatest... I might not be the greatest player of Days Before Christmas. Just saying, okay? So, it is the time to be jolly. It is Christmas time, so just cut me a little bit of slack, okay? I'll do my best. Now we have a new enemy here in this level called Steel Elevators, and rather unfortunately, they've gone back to the aesthetic from the Steel Factory, and that's kind of a problem with this game. They very quickly go back to why is my score measuring as 0, by the way, in the top right-hand corner? Wow, that's putting me off so much. I can barely concentrate. Nearly fell to my death. Oh, there we go. That's a weird glitch. That's the problem with this game, I think. I took issue with somebody on Twitter who said that the game was lame and corny. However, this doesn't exactly help its case. And by the way, new gimmick here: press up on these drain pipes to travel up them like in a lift, or dare I say it, a Mario Bros. Warp pipe. And these guys like to attack you out of nowhere here. And then party streamers acting as ropes. You don't automatically grab onto these things, by the way, so you've got to hold up to make sure you grab them. They have caught me out on a couple of occasions playing through this game. And so was that. 3 cars! Did you see that? 3 cars! No, sorry, 2 cars. I can count. And a jack-in-the-box, but they're still a cakewalk. I don't get the point of the jack-in-the-boxes. Now, as I say, and I'm doing a terrible job of getting to it, that was kind of weird. Scrolled it off and then it unfurled and unwrapped itself after the fact. This has the same aesthetic as the Steel Factory. From this moment on, the levels are going to sort of start to repeat themselves in terms of what they look like. For example, Winter Waters look very much like that level where Santa dropped into a bottomless crevasse and called at the end of the level. And here's a new gimmick: the elevators to the title. Now, they look like you grab onto them like a ladder, but actually you jump on them like a platform. But too bad, Waluigi time, because it's time for Anti-Claws. And that was a close one. Another annoying thing about the elevators gimmick here is that here you want to go straight up because there is actually nothing of note. And that's another thing about Anti-Claus. For some reason, his sack. You saw it then. If he's standing in like an enclosed space like this and you try to swing the sack, he will get blocked. You're not hitting me. And neither are you. It did it again. What is with these presents of wrapping themselves off screen? Whatever. I'm just trying to find things to ramble about because I'm not feeling very well. Oh well, I was about to say the spikes down there, so be careful. But fortunately, I missed the hook altogether, so I get to show you. Fortunately, I've got 4 hats worth of health. Now there's a card down there which you can turn into a present, but it's not worth it because it's kind of a tricky. Well, I'm going to have to show you now anyway. God damn it! And then the present scrolls off screen. This is going terrifically well. Yeah, this really is a tricky jump. There we go. Complete with bowel straining sound effects. Cut me some slack, guys. I've not been feeling too well. It is Christmas. There we go. End of the level. But yeah, from this moment on, none of the levels are going to have original aesthetics in terms of what they look like, which is kind of a shame, and it doesn't really do the game any favours. For example, the gift wrapping department here is basically just a Wood Factory 2.0. And I can see why the person might think it's lame and corny. I think the game is better in the first half where it's still fresh and original. And then in the second half it kind of starts to suffer because the levels become a bit more annoying and arbitrary. So maybe the person on Twitter, who I'm still not going to name, by the way, no matter how many times you asked me to do it, maybe they had a point, but I still think this game is kind of fun. It's just a little... Although that's kind of a dick move, but... What the hell? Okay, I guess he's not coming back. And new enemy, Needles. And the boxing gloves, but they're not exactly new enemy. Well, they're not exactly enemies at all. Don't you just love it when someone's ill and they go on a 2-minute rant? Did that even hit me? I'm not even sure. At this point, up is down. I think black is white for me. I don't know. I don't know. When have I ever known? Seriously. That's a boxing... How the hell did that not hit me? I'll take it! And this guy's clearly had his Christmas drink because he's hyperactive. And a whole bunch of enemies being thrown... Now, if I'm right, there's a wooden heart platform here, which I'm not going to fall for. I'll just wait for a... Actually, I'm wrong, aren't I? No, I'm completely wrong. And there's no pit below. Well, that was kind of embarrassing. It's because I hadn't had time to practice, because I've been too busy coughing my guts out and sneezing into a tissue for half the day. And honestly, that's as graphic as I'm going to get about my cold. It kind of sucks being ill over Christmas. I've kind of avoided it for the past couple of years, so I suppose they felt I was overdue. And by they, I have no idea who they were. It also means I've got to kind of rush through this. I suppose I don't have to rush through this to get to this finish before Christmas, but I kind of feel obligated. That's hilarious, isn't it? I feel obligated to do it. I'm sure there's a heart here. Oh god. Again, normally I'm so much more practiced with this, but I just haven't had the time to play through the game, and my nose has been as red as Santa's in this game. Fortunately, we're coming to the end of the level. That's just a boxing glove. If I remember correctly, that's an enemy. Oh, that's a bomb. That'll do. But, hey, Anti-Claus! Now, there's a fun little glitch. Well, I'm not sure if it's a glitch. Wow! Wow! I did not expect that to happen. First death of the LP right there, folks. Right off the edge. That's embarrassing. I'll be right back. Okay, that's what you meant to do. You meant to wait for a heart. Kind of ironic. I spent all this time blabbering on about how there was a heart. By the way, do not jump up here. Now, here's the glitch. Let me get into ducking position. He goes in his sack. Now, watch the sack. And watch Santa. And that animation does not appear anywhere else in the game. That's the only time you can get that to happen. Fortunately, there's an extra life right here to replace the one I lost. They're still quite generous with the extra lives and the power-ups. And also the bombs in presents. But they do give you points. So, it's not too bad. I thought there was a rat down here, but maybe I've already taken care of him. And that's the end of the level! Kind of embarrassing I've died in a game about Christmas, but what are you going to do about it? Well, in my case, I'm going to die horribly in a game about Christmas, but that's just me. Now, remember what I said about the levels starting to repeat themselves in terms of aesthetics? It'll become really apparent when we get to Magic Bubbles. Also, first time Anti-Claus appears in one of these pre-level pitches. And as far as I know, that's the last time he appears in them as well. Kind of strange for a game whose main gimmick is Anti-Claus that he only appears in the pre-level pitches once, and that present is gone. Well, you gotta laugh, haven't you? Otherwise you're gonna start crying. Well, maybe not. Oh, by the way, I'm a total liar when I said in the last video the Jack-in-the-Boxes don't appear on their own. They always appear wrapped in presents. Total liar, there's two right here. And I think there's one towards the end of the game. And these damn elves, I always get caught out with these elves. I always think they're enemies, so I fire. Now there is a neat little getting hit by an enemy exploit here. I was about to say, there is a way, another Jack-in-the-Box, there is a way to actually, there's a bumper that's supposed to prevent you from taking the higher route. But if you're pixel perfect, you can actually go on the higher route, no problem. That's, I hate these bumpers, god damn it. You can actually go on the higher route, no problem. Maybe I'll show it off at the end as a bonus, but maybe I won't because maybe I can't be bothered. I can explain it to you fine, just by talking about it. By the way, this is going swimmingly. Basically, if you are pixel perfect... Oh, I've messed that up. I thought that was the carpet where if you didn't jump off at the right time, it would kill you. That's later on in the level. No, this carpet doesn't kill you. It does if you don't jump off there. Anyway, point I'm trying to make and doing a horrible job of it. That bumper that you saw about 30 seconds ago is meant to prevent you from taking the higher route, but if you're pixel perfect, you can avoid it. And I kind of need that health because I'm really kind of low here. Whoa, that was close. Wow, just getting hit by every repulse, god damn it. This is it. Now if you don't jump here, you'll fall into a pit and die, because the carpet disappears. Fortunately, that's the end of the level. It's quite a short level, and I made it look a lot harder than it actually is. Fortunately, if you get to the end of the level with less than 3 hats of health, the game actually is nice enough to refill them for you, even on hard mode. And another thing I forgot to mention while we're talking about gameplay that I should have mentioned it back in the first video, if you get 600,000 points, I believe, you get an extra life. So, making the game even easier. But it's not meant to be hard, is it? Oh, and now we're coming up to perhaps the worst level of the game. Not because it's hard, but because it's long as hell and has some really annoying gimmicks to it. Now, believe it or not, the end of the level is right there. That locked door. But because it's locked, you need to find something to unlock it. Doesn't sound too difficult. And I suppose it's not difficult, but it is really annoying. We have an invincible enemy in those ghost rats. Are they the ghosts of the rats that we were killing for profit earlier? And here, 2 bombs. They are worth unwrapping because they do give you points for unwrapping bombs. I think it's the presents rather. And this thing! Remember I said there was a thing that, there was a bumper that was really annoying? This thing, in the top hat. If you walk into that thing, it will punch you, and it will punch you straight into the rat, and you will take damage. That one's not too bad. In a few minutes' time, there'll be one that's so badly placed. It's not even funny. Seriously, I hate this level. It's not hard, but it's just so time-consuming. The goal, as you can probably tell, is to unlock the attic. Let's see if I can jump over this guy. Oh, I did it. Wow. With how bad I've been playing, now if you take a punch here, you'll fly right into that cactus, so don't. I will show you here because it's kind of free. Now this switch unlocks the attic, but before you do that, unwrap this present because checkpoint bell. You probably weren't expecting a bomb. The first time I played for this, I was expecting a bomb too, but no, they're nice enough to give you a checkpoint there. Except that might kind of let you in on the secret of what's about to happen when you go down the door. Because if they're giving you a checkpoint just for falling down a few levels, that you... Whoa! I forgot that present was there. I don't need to go that way, do I? I'll just run down here. If they're giving you a checkpoint, by the way, you can actually crawl on the floor here, like Stolen Santa style, I guess. I didn't actually know that until recently. Right, end of the level, you might think. But no, because for some reason Santa climbs up the chimney. I suppose that was more of a chimney rather than an attic. This is going so well on all levels, isn't it? And suddenly, you're on the roof! And you have fire. And you have ice cubes to melt. and I didn't do a very good job. I hate these ice cubes. They're not particularly tough enemies, but for some reason they always seem to jump just as I'm firing to avoid my shot and hit me. There's an ice cube in this, so I'm... Actually, no. There was an ice cube, but it's a Santa hat. I'll take health. I'm going to need it with how badly I'm... That thing didn't even touch me. Come on. And there's an elf. And you might think that's the end of the level because that's a star. But no, this is the annoying thing about it. We're only halfway through. This is the one level where touching the star doesn't end at the level. I don't know why that's the case, it just is. So now we've got more of the same. We've got more Santa hats in presents. We've got more of these assholes. And you God damn it. You have to do your best Donkey Kong Country impression to get by them here by jumping on the barrel. But if you're even a pixel out, they will punch you. The collision detection on those things is atrocious. Lots of presents which turn out to be bombs. I'm not even going to bother trying to tackle that guy because it's just not worth it. And 3 spiders in a row, and I really fight the urge to cough here because my throat is getting kind of sore. Don't just love LPing when you're ill, and that's a bomb. And I love how I said that's a bomb, and I guessed correctly, and still jumped after to try and get it, and that's a bomb too, I think. Yep. They're not hanging around now with the bombs. They are just... I think they're in every other... and completely arbitrary barrel. Why is that even there? I mean, there's a barrel coming up in a moment for a reason. But why is that barrel even there? Is that just to fool you into thinking you've got to go... You've got to jump over a thing? Now here there's kind of a crossroads. Either left or right, you will have to jump over... What is that? Is that a hat rack or a coat stand with boxing gloves and a top hat on? Whatever it is, you've got to jump over it whichever way you go. I find going to the right is probably the easier routes, just slightly, in terms of spacing for jumping over. Now the reason you go over to the left is because it's an extra life, but if you're tricky, and you know how I love being tricky in video games, if you're tricky you can actually get to the extra life. Wow, how he didn't punch me into that cactus, I have no clue. If you go over to the left, you can still get the extra life if you're clever. I thought it was kind of here. Is it here? After this rat? I think it is. Just talk amongst yourselves first while I try and find... It's there. It's there. That's an elf, and then... If I can just get past this rat without getting hit... It's right there in that gold present box. There you are! I do know the game! I don't know why I collected that extra life, because I've got 9 of them. They don't stack over. Now you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, this is the 17th level, so we've had a run of 5 levels, we've not had a boss fight yet. Well, you're right. And this level is called the Attic, but if you're expecting a boss, then prepare to be mortally disappointed. Because I'm totally lying. The music changes, and we do have a boss fight. Kind of strange how they throw this right in the middle of a regular level. Maybe they ran out of time. Anyway, we have a weight moving back and forth, and the boss isn't present. You go to the right, and here's our boss. It's a weird thing, this. It's a giant rat wielding what looks to be like a parsnip as a club. And the way to beat it is to hit it with the 10-ton weight. Now, you've got to be careful here, because that weight can actually hit you, and I've missed. This is going so well. The rat will actually not start attacking you until you go over to the right here, which is kind of strange. If you were playing properly, you can actually get him into a pattern. That's what you do. You hit him with the weight once, it stuns him, and then you whack him with your magic. And that didn't even hit him, but you know what? For once, the pull detection works in my favour. Just be careful, because the weight can actually hit you. And also be careful when jumping up to these platforms, because that weird glitch where you can fall right through the edge of the platform is still in effect here, so just be careful. He's not a very difficult boss, but he is kind of, dare I say it, fun. And as I say, just watch yourself, because the weight can hit you if you're right underneath it. I can actually beat this guy 5 straight hits, just locking him into a loop. It's the easiest thing in the world to do, but for some reason I missed the first one, so I'm not going to be able to do it here. Also strange how he is named. All the other bosses, and there you are, 5 hits and he's dead. He explodes into a shower of 5 present boxes, and that's it. Just as my voice is giving up the ghost too, kind of fortunate. It's kind of... pardon me. It's kind of strange how all the other bosses in this game, the Snowman, the Timekeeper, and even the final boss who I'm not going to spoil just yet, are all named in their level descriptions. This guy isn't, he's just a giant rat at the end of the attic, although he does appear in the title sequence. Now because I beat this guy without getting hit, we've got 5 hats of health for this level over Japan, which is fortunate because I just got hit by a kite out of nowhere. Now these levels, it took me a while to realise it, but they're kind of racial stereotypes in a way, because what kind of developer thought, we're having a level set over Japan. What constitutes Japan? I know, how about kites, and getting hit by every pulse here, how about kites and rockets strapped to dogs? Because you know, that was the Japanese space program of 1970, was to strap rockets to dogs and let them fly off into space. Seriously, how much of a racial stereotype is that? And also, it hasn't escaped my notice that they introduced this level with a giant red dot. Alright, that is on their flag, so that's less of a racial stereotype, but still, Sunsoft and Funcom, it's Christmas, you should be ashamed of yourselves, guys, for stooping to that level. Oh, and if you think the racial stereotyping is bad in this level, just wait to the final slay level of the game in the next video. That's just even worse. Seriously. As I say, they should be ashamed of themselves. But, still quite an easy level. I had 5 hats of health, so not hard at all. And that's going to do it for the penultimate video of Let's Play Days Before Christmas. Join me next time, which will be tomorrow, because I've got to finish this before Christmas Day, of course, for the final few levels of the game, the final boss, and hopefully the end of the LP. Until then, bye for now.